Good evening, everyone. Jose J. Garcia, real estate investor, coach, and mentor. So we got another Tuesday deals pitched. As I was saying on Instagram, here is I want to cover a deal breakdown, some rehab, the materials, the pre, the post, and we've shared this mobile home a couple times throughout our social media. I know we posted a stay tuned for the numbers per se. So that's the deals are great, the investments are awesome, but it's always the numbers. Those are the ones that have to make sense. So we're going to make this a little bit more educational tonight. Bear with me. And we are uploading quite a bit of inventory onto the spreadsheet. So yeah, I think I forget to use Zoom every time I log on to it. Figure it out. Here we go. We got a few homes that we are bringing into a community also. So don't forget Central Georgia, Griffin, Thomaston, Barnesville. Hot areas for us, hot markets for end buyers, tenants, you name it. So we're working heavily in that area. Stay tuned towards the end because we also have a couple more areas for about to pick up a large inflow of inventory. So that being said, is more deals, more opportunities. So that's what we're bringing here. But let me go ahead and turn my camera over. I want to show you the specific home that we are working on. Now, this one was, I remind you, the spreadsheet. If you don't have the spreadsheet now, send us an email. We will share the spreadsheet. Yes, that's full access to all of our off-market inventory. You can go in and check out exactly what we have. Now, some of these deals, y'all see them on here as before, and then we rehab them. If they're sitting here long enough, I will put a crew on them, get them rehab, put them on the market, and I'll keep the profits. Simple as that. Why are there some of the homes on here? There's questions I've gotten. We have a good problem. Excessive inventory steady coming in. Now we can only rehab so many at one time. We can only wholesale so many at one time. So many flips, so many coachings, so many connections, so much networking. Got to keep on going. So why do I have a spreadsheet full of deals? Is because I'm able to give opportunities back to it started out as our student investors only. Any student investor that would go through GMHU coaching, they would be able to get their first deal through us, which they still can. But now we open this up even more to the public for any investor, okay, can come in and invest in one of these. So, but anyway, so this is one of the units, and I know y'all can't see this is good. Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., this will be on YouTube. You watch the replay, take your time, rewatch it, etc. But here is one of them. 2-bedroom, 1-bath, single wide. It did have a outside room. We did not finish it. We left it more like a deck, just left it as is. But I want to talk about the numbers here in a second. But first, I want to show you some of the rehabs that we are doing. Now, if you follow our social media, you see that all rehabs are the same. There's no artistic to anything. We make them livable, presentable. If it's not broken, we don't fix it, okay? And it depends on the market, depends on the exit strategy. Because also, let's say we convert one of these into Airbnbs. Then yes, at that point, our rehab would be step it up a little bit more. If we are working more in an area where it's all rentals, no rental owners, no lease option, we are landlords, then obviously, and it goes with the end buyer mentality. What do end buyers think about when they don't own something? Typically, the attitudes we get is, oh, it's not mine. I don't really care for it. That doesn't mean we're going to deliver a poor product to them, but we're not going to go above and beyond on the rehabs. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. If you're going to do a quick flip immediately, again, you would just base on those numbers. So, but here it is. Okay, so kitchen, that's facing the opposite way of the kitchen. This is what it looked like when we first got the home. So nothing extreme. I mean, some of this needed more touch up than anything, like this bedroom. We went ahead and put on new vinyl all throughout the mobile home, painted it differently. Again, we do every product, we do the same. We just simply step it up a little bit more or a little bit, lower, a little bit less, depends on. Already had a brand new tub in it, so we didn't have to replace any of that. A lot of the home already had sheetrock, which was already previously done from a investor, whoever owned it prior to. So again, a lot of this is basically coming in, putting it back together, painting it. To us is always that commercial, vanilla, light gray, dark gray, kind of like light brownish, and that's just our liking. You may like all white walls or yellow walls, or just that's up to you. The reason I say that all of our rehabs look the same is because we buy in bulk. Remember, you got to be strategic. Every step that you do within mobile home investing, you got to keep in mind the numbers. I cannot say that enough. The product is great, but if the numbers don't make sense, then you have an issue. And it is too easy to go above budget if you don't start watching these numbers. before you start rehabbing, you should already have a budget of. Here's what it looks like. This is worst case, best case, and most likely. You got to have those three scenarios. If the worst case scenario, what does those numbers look like? If those numbers are going to break me, then it's probably not a rehab you should do anyway. Okay, keep going. Put a lot of new plywood throughout the floors. You know, these mobile homes have particle wood, if you want to call that. I call it sponge because that particle boards that they put on the floor, and I mean, it swells up like a sponge. If you get water on it, moisture on it, it's done. It falls through. So that's basically what you're looking at the photos on it. So let me keep going, more of a finished look. We did have to replace a little bit of walls, sheetrock. We did the same, which I typically do. I do not use the whole particle board again for the walls, though I'm not against it, not for the walls anyway. We put trim around the home, white, gray. You see, you're kind of giving it that upgrade look, if you will. So here's the same bathroom you saw on the previous photo. Slowly but surely. And again, this is just an upgrade of. Okay, so this is not an Airbnb. We didn't step it up to that level. We are not going to furnish it by any means. It is going to be sold as cash or RTO. That is our goal to do so. And we already have a half a payment already into for the home. So, I mean, this is what it looks like. You're looking at finished product. Again, all new vinyl throughout the mobile home. Paint the entire interior. You know, y'all heard me say about the ceiling. That does homes wonder. You know, if you have a previous owner who smoked inside the house, you will notice that the ceilings are a yellow stain. So, I mean, it's little things like that it doesn't take a whole lot to rehab, not a whole lot of money, material, time. But when it's done, it's like, wow, it's just a fresh new look. And a white ceiling all the way across, it just opens the mobile home. It just looks bigger, nicer. I mean, you name it. So that's basically what you're looking at. But let's talk about numbers. The numbers are what makes sense. So again, this is what we started out at. Nothing horrible, but you know, this vinyl was actually not bad, but you know, once you start putting the whole mobile home, and we buy this all in rolls. I mean, so we have more than plenty of this. I do not use carpet. I don't like carpet. It's just, you know, so we use rolls of this, just cut it out to the size, fits it, glue with adhesive, tuck it down in on the trim, and I mean, it looks much better. People love it. People love this concept. We were doing cabinets black and putting more of that like black, white kind of gray look. Probably go back to that also. Good thing about doing cabinets black is if there's any imperfections, any stains can be removed or chips on it or whatever, you know, unless they're absolutely terrible, need to be replaced. Painting on black kind of hides all that and it makes them look great. So go back and look at some of our other previous deals. Okay. All right. So let's talk about numbers. Now, this is where it's going to make sense or is not. Every deal is different. No deal is the same. No investment is the same. In this mobile home, we purchased it for $4,000 total originally. That's what we got, the mobile home inside of a community. Lot rent is $390, so there is a holding, obviously. We had about right around estimated $1,500 in material. That was for the painting, for the sheetrock. We did need a few pieces of electrical. We'll be posting some of those next week. Also, proper ways to do electrical breakers and that sort of thing, which is another issue we see from a lot of handyman and contractors. You know, let me slow down for a second. If a mobile home needs anything electrical, that is one of those type of rehab or type of labor duties that needs to be done by a licensed or somebody who knows exactly what they're doing. You're trying to, I don't know, just, you know, I'm seeing a lot of these handymans that are going out there, they're trying to figure it out, they're hoping to figure it out. You are messing with something that can be hazard. That's what I'm trying to say. So just kind of keep that in mind. We did have a few breakers we had to replace on here. We had to, a couple of the wall sockets were also burnt. A couple little issues like that. Why is it burnt? You know, you got to ask these things. It's like if there was a damage there before, because those things can start fires. You got to keep that in mind, is that there could be a much worse issue coming later on down the road if something like this should go on. So, all right, $1,500 worth of material, $2,500 labor. That was the doing all the work. The handyman, the contractors from start to finish, $2,500. We had right around $500 in utilities. I combined these: the utilities, the holding, the insurance. Which, you know, the insurance isn't much at all, but it's something that is well worth it. Protect your assets. I can't say that enough. We'll talk about Chris Franco and insurance here in a few minutes also. But all in all, we walked out of this mobile home right around $8,500. Again, that's unheard of in real estate numbers. I can now become a landlord if I want and start profiting for less than $10,000 because that's the breakdown. The home, the labor, the material, the holding, the insurance, the utilities, all in for that. We can resell this home back out on the market as is cash for around 20,000. We can do a lease option, rent to own, create the creative financing, take a maybe 5,000-6,000 down payment, which puts all or most of our money back in our pockets, and then start collecting that passive income for next 3-4 years to come. Just depends on the breakdown. These are just opportunities. Okay, we could say I want to keep this for the next 7 years, like we've had some other mobile homes. Originally, we're going to be quick flips, and they're steady making us rental money. I'm not going to sell something that steady makes me passive income. So that's the way we work those. But 20,000 is what you can sell this. So again, and we did nothing spectacular. Come in, paint it, change the flooring, touch up everything, put some trim, okay? Make it livable, presentable, update it, and it will sell. Some of you out there trying to sell mobile homes saying there's no buyers, you're the problem. I'm gonna say that you are the problem. In today's world, in today's market, with as much affordable housing needed, there is no excuse why you can't rent or sell. Something is off. And typically it could be the numbers. Let me turn this over real quick. Columbus, Georgia. I hope I'm not calling anybody out right now, but Columbus, Georgia, I've talked about quite a few times. Nothing negative about it. But Columbus, Georgia is a perfect example of numbers that don't make sense for an investor as a lease option, rental, landlords, etc. Let me explain. When you're getting started in this investments and you're putting money to, you should always look at how much am I all in, how much can I get all back, ROI, return on my investments, and what is the likely monthly revenue. Now, when you think about those things like that, you got to think, okay, what is ARVs? What are mobile homes being sold in this market? Okay, in this market here solely, after repair value means they're move-in ready, like what I just showed you. There you go. You got a number. So let's say 20,000. All right. What is the rental rates in the area? Columbus, 500, maybe 600 on a great day. All right, we'll even go with the high number, $600. What is the lot rent? Because you got to remember, these mobile homes are inside of communities where we have to pay monthly lot rent every time. Okay. So lot rent is what in Columbus? I can tell you it's anywhere from $400 to $550. So let's just say $450. So I don't need to go any further. I got a number breakdown that I need to figure out. So if I can collect $600 monthly and I'm paying lot rent $450, that means that I will be profiting $150 a month while paying the community $450 for the property. Does that sound like it makes sense? To me, it would say stay away from. That's not somewhere I want to do lease options. You can't do rentals because you got to think if you're doing rentals, now you're a landlord. You're collecting $150 a month. Let's say there is a leaky toilet. It'll happen. Leaky toilet. Something goes off in home. Okay. Any of that deducts from 150. You got to replace a toilet or whatever it may be, $200-300. You're in the negative. Does not make sense. Now, I'm not saying don't invest in Columbus, but what I'm saying is the markets like that where the lot rents are so high and the rental rates are so low, that's areas where you want to come in and do maybe wholesaling, maybe pat infill, maybe be a connection, bird dog. There's ways to also invest, but you don't want to get caught in this situation where you're making so minimal. I know an investor a while back said, yeah, but I got 20 of them collecting me 120. Well, I got 300 of them collecting me 500. So, it's one of those kind of things is I want higher numbers. And typically my rule of thumb is I want to profit the community at most equal to what I'm collecting. So if the lot rent's 400, I better be collecting 800 a month so that I pay their 400 and I collect 400. But in our case, it's more anywhere from 400 to 600 a month, and all the numbers are the other way around. Albany, Georgia, $250 lot rent is what we pay, and we're collecting $800 a month. So you do the math. Is that worth my time engaging in that? Yes, that's what that would be. All right. All right. Hope that helps. Small breakdown. I know we get a lot of questions on this. It's like, how do I estimate? That's us to continue to see that. If it's not a deal, if the numbers don't check out, don't do the deal. There is other deals. Go to my spreadsheet. We'll be happy to coach you, guide you. If don't force a deal. If it's not a deal, it's not supposed to be. Remember, you got to think there's also surprises. When we get into these rehabs, we are estimating and putting a budget based on what we are seeing. What if you take one of those walls down and you got mold? Or you take up the flooring and you got all kinds of issues? All that means is more time, more labor, more material, more out of pocket. Now, where are you at? So you got to be very mindful of something like that. All right. Let me stop the sharing. Let me turn the camera over to Instagram so I can stop looking at two screens. There we go. All right. So inventory coming available. We still continue to get a lot more, and what we haven't slowed down. What we're currently working on is infilling a park in Griffin, Georgia. We need about 70 mobile homes still to this day. We've moved numerous mobile homes into this park now. How you can help us out as investors is bring us inventory. If you want to bring your own inventory and keep it in the community, we can also grant you that, and we can pay you for the transport. That's one less expense. Now, if you think about, obviously, if you're getting a mobile home for free and it needs very little in the area, we're paying to bring it in, to set it up, to put decks on it, to put skirting on it, to connect utilities. It's a no-brainer. It's as if the mobile home was already there. You're just rehabbing whatever it needs. You put it on the market. And we allow subleasing, rentals, rent to owns. We haven't done any Section 8s there. May not do that. Airbnbs definitely. So, again, opportunities, options, what you got. Mullins and Marion. I don't know where either one is. Mullins and Marion, South Carolina. We've connected with another park operator. Remember, every time I connect with a park operator means another opportunity for y'all. The last time we connected in South Carolina was, what was it? It was near Florence. We had about 15 mobile homes that lasted a whole 8 days before they all sold to investor or end buyers. That is how hot the market is in South Carolina. And I'm talking about multiple areas. Spartanburg, Greenville, Florence, Anderson. I mean, Marion and Mullins, from the little research that I've done. And there's a high demand of affordability everywhere you put it. It doesn't matter. One of the things that we may even go above and beyond also and look out for our students or our investors. Some of these communities have had mobile homes sitting for years that have done nothing. And some of these park operators, it becomes kind of part of just another day thing. They continue to raise the lot rents on all the other homes, but the homes that are sitting there obviously are just losing money. As an investor, you come in, and what is the first thing they want you to do? Well, the lot rent is $500 on this one and $600 on that, whatever it may be. So if you come in and invest in it, obviously that's what the lot rent is going to be. This is where we come in, step in, and simply negotiate that. But we take on 15, 20. I mean, I have 27 mobile homes we'll be looking between Marion and Mullins. So send me an email if those are areas that you're interested in. And we're going to be talking about lowering the lot rent. Now, that lot rent's not going to stay low forever, but it may be for the first year and maybe half of that. So now you're talking 300, maybe 400 tops for lot rent. So again, opportunities, what we do. So 2 Saturdays from now, I am going to have Chris Franco, that is an A+ Insurance, the go-to guy that we have for our insurance, our policies, whether you're rehabbing a mobile home, whether you have as a rental, as a landlord, it doesn't matter. He has a policy specifically made, originated for mobile home investors. He comes to our shadow events. He's part of our team, so he will more than understand what we got going on. It is not expensive to get insurance, but what is expensive is when something happens like life, there's a fire, there's a tree, you no longer have an investment. That's a hard call. You can insure some of these mobile homes for as little as $200 a year, up to $25,000, $30,000 return. So just kind of keep that in mind. I will advertise that when we have them, but it is going to be on a Saturday morning, 10 a.m. check and call. He's going to come on and just talk policies. We'll be able to ask him some questions. Y'all can join me on there. Send me some questions. We'll bounce them off of him as well. And if you do need to connect with him, that's what he's coming on the call for. Also, is to provide all of y'all with a policy should you need one. All right. That's going to do it for this evening. Don't forget to join me Saturday. Friday, 1 p.m. is the last episode of Mobile Home Confessions and Cars. Hope you've enjoyed those series. It's been time consuming, but it's been fun. Check it out. YouTube, GarciaMHU.com, Friday at 1 p.m. All right. Till next time. Thank you for watching.